So sometimes I run across experiences that there just aren't English words to describe. There are things like deja vu. I think there's even the opposite of deja vu when something you see every day, something you see frequently, appears to you to be absolutely new and inexplicable. Today, I had the experience where an idea that's been percolating in my mind suddenly came out, and it's amazing. And then I share it with someone, and they're like, "Oh yeah, everyone knows about that." I didn't know how to react. I've been in my readings about Jerusalem and the conflict in the Middle East. I've been thinking that Islam is, how do I say? It's not that you can say something is a bad religion or something like that, but Christianity got a lot of bad rap for replacement theology. Christians were saying, "Oh, the Jews are no longer God's people, and you're no longer part of the covenant." I mean, that's what the church was based on. And when the first time it was described to me, it was described by Tommy Waller. And to be perfectly candid, replacement theology made perfect sense. You look at the Jews were being, in Europe before the state of Israel. We did look like we were not the chosen people, and so I could understand. And as Tommy said, it looked like you guys dropped the ball, and it's a pretty important job, so we picked it up. And Christianity got a lot of grief for that, and I've run across an awful lot of Christians who are doing tshuva on that, who have really taken it to the other extreme and have tried to fix that by simply and beautifully loving the Jewish people. It's really an amazing transformation, something that's absolutely astounding to watch. Though, admittedly, replacement theology still does exist. But I think we can all agree that looking at another religion and saying, "Oh, you're bad because you have your religion, and our religion is better and we've replaced you," it's just not neighborly. It's not nice, and it leads to a lot of grief and human suffering. Well, I have news for you. In a totally non-judgmental way, I was informed today, Islam is replacement theology. Admittedly, they know that they're replacement theology. They have this whole theology based on the fact that, yes, Moses was a prophet, and Noah was a prophet, and he was replaced by Moses, and the old theology out the window does no longer good. And if you still believe in the old theology, you are bad. Well, then along comes Moses. Moses, good, but along came Jesus. Moses, no longer good. And then Jesus, good. Jesus is a prophet. But then along came Muhammad. So Jesus is no longer acceptable. Moses is no longer acceptable. And that has a physical manifestation. The physical manifestation is at the holy sites. They can vary. They have no problem looking at the Temple Mount and saying, "Oh yes, that was the site of the Jewish temple, and it now has no relevance whatsoever to Jews." That's the battle. They did that at one of at what was the most prominent cathedral in the world for 1,000 years. What was it called? It's in Istanbul. The Hagia Sophia was the largest cathedral in the world for 1,000 years. Well, guess what? They turned it into a mosque. No problems, because why should people worship in a cathedral? It's no longer relevant. Was it Christian? Oh, yes. Was Jesus a prophet? Oh, yes. But now it's bad to believe in him. I was astounded. And that's what we're facing. I believe I'm a pluralistic person. I believe that everyone is put on the earth for a reason, and they're put on the earth differently, and their differences are a necessary and treasured thing. And that's why I don't like this. I sincerely don't like this. I do not believe in replacement theology. I do not practice replacement theology. I feel that any worshiping of God in a way that recognizes every man's uniqueness is a holy thing. I believe that that's what the temple's about when it's declared a house of prayer for all nations. And I think that's what we're fighting for in the Temple Mount. And that is essential. That's the war.